Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Camerascore, where we discuss all things media. And this week we are talking about television. Is back. Season finale just happened. How was it? Does it surpass the comics, or is it kind of falling short to the lofty expectations that fans have for it? Let's get right into it and start with the positives.
From what might be coming our way.
I'm sorry, Mark. We need your help.
How do you feel about war?
The Viltrumites will always be a threat to Earth.
So as always, for the most part, the writing in this show is immaculate. The characters, their construction, and some of the changes they've made from the comics with Amber and Eve make them genuine characters you care about and have a real place. Although Amber, they kind of made her a horrible character in which she had no faults whatsoever. She always did the right thing. She was always in the right. She always saved the day. Poorly written for the most part, but better than the comics. And then Eve has a really good mainstay place in terms of all she's going through and the struggles that she faces. It makes her have a great appearance outside of the few faults which we'll get into later. But for the most part, spectacular writing that is very gripping, a great narrative that keeps you invested and keeps you kind of jumping between hopeful and hopeless as they contend with this insane Viltrumite race that can turn the entire humanity into a paste with that signature hand move that they got, that they love to spam. Really well done there. The voice acting, superb. This is where all their budget goes to. They got Optimus Prime, they got Stephen Yeun, they got Sandra Oh, they got J.K. Simmons. It's insane, the cast. Sterling K. Brown, I could just go on forever and ever. It's insane how many amazing actors, voice actors they have for this. I'm like, oh, that's Azula. Oh, this person. That's this person. Every episode is just an ode and an homage to great projects that people have worked on before with stellar voice acting that carries you through the entire season. I want to give a little bit of props to animation because I recently learned it's only a 4-person team. So for what they have and who they have, they did a pretty decent, solid job there. It's not great. It's decent and passable, largely carried by the spectacular voice acting. I mean, even some of the funny moments with Machine Head, shout out Jeffrey Donovan, Burn Notice if you know, but the way he enters a T-Pain auto-tune while threatening to kill you is something that should be talked about and studied for days to come. Amazing work there. And I just feel like the way they're building this story, this plot is so cohesive and keeps you invested throughout. Every episode I had to watch at 12 a.m. And I think that is just a testament to, after all these seasons, they're still carrying out the story in a really great way. Now, are they dragging it a little bit? That is to be determined by people that have read the comics, but supposedly we're not that far, so maybe 8 seasons, which might be a little crazy, but when you think about it, cartoons of old had that many seasons. So really we're returning to form. Now, in terms of not returning to form, the animation. But I think what is here is serviceable enough to keep you invested, to keep you intrigued, and to make you want to finish the whole season in one sitting. I truly believe when this is all said and done, I'm going to go back and rewatch everything just to get all the feels. I mean, this show had one of the best first episodes of a cartoon I've seen in years. And it's kind of continued that momentum. But there are a few issues. And with that, we get into the negatives.
This is serious, Shapesmith.
This is fruit punch. Would you like some?
Is everyone ready?
Yes!
Now, there aren't too many negatives, but some of them come from some of the writing and then, of course, the animation. Now, the animation, like I said, it's not that big a deal. It's Amazon. I just wish they would spend less time getting big name actors to do 5-minute scenes and more time on the animation and expanding the team. But they're not going to do that. That's neither here nor there. What gets to me is some of the writing and some of the contrived points that they throw in without it. The author is on record saying that he hates power scaling. And I understand that to a certain extent. If you're in the anime community, people love to say, this guy would beat that guy. And because of unknown power number 6 in issue 52, this is why he would beat this guy. And that does get annoying. But the reason it's important is because it creates stakes for your character. Now, in this universe where you have these superhuman individuals flying through space, holding their breath for days, being bulletproof and achieving supersonic speeds and punching through walls, it is very important to establish how strong your character is so that you don't feel cheated when they lose to something that they shouldn't lose to. And another thing that flows into this is with the main character, which must be some type of joke moniker like calling a large dog tiny or a tiny dog large, because there's no way he's. Bro is the most vincible individual I've ever seen. He almost dies in every episode. Now, if that happened once or twice per season, I could see it being a thing where, okay, these are real threats and you're understanding how powerful the threats are that he's going against. We already understand that with the way that they can slice through human beings with their bare hands. The problem is when your character almost dies every episode, the almost becomes less interesting. It becomes a boy who cried wolf situation. If Mark almost dies every episode, then every episode, I'm not going to care if his guts are ripped out. I'm not going to care if this is sliced off or this happens. In this show, nobody really dies until the show is like, this will be poignant. Let's do that. But if your main character just keeps coming back and back and back and back, I guess maybe he isn't. But at the same time, I'm supposed to care that he's almost dying. I'm supposed to feel something when a villain gets the best of him and now he's in this bloodied state in a coma. I just don't understand why he needs to almost die every time to prove the point that he's going against stern and tough opposition. We get that already. And with the arrival of Thrag, it's even more amplified. He's going up against this guy and stands no chance, and all these things are happening. The people you thought were strong weren't strong. And that makes sense. But here's why it makes sense. We've seen Mark do crazy feats. We've seen Nolan do crazy feats. So by Thrag coming in and essentially beating them and showing them that how much stronger he is, it shows great things in terms of developing his villain character. This guy's up here, but he's so strong he made your guy look weak. Similar to Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. But the problem here is the character you're saying is so strong that they got defeated by this guy. This strong character got defeated by a worm or struggled with a street level villain. You have to keep power scaling in mind because now I'm going to be like, well, if he can do this, how is he losing to this guy? How's this guy even a challenge? And that happens throughout the entire show. I just feel like I understand it. Power scaling is annoying, but it's also important when you're dealing with super abled beings because now I'm confused as to why you had this foolhardy loss to this person who's really a scrub for real. I don't know what you're doing, bro. I don't know what you're doing. And on top of that, the plans they make. I know they're trying to keep in consistency with the comic books, but you're also skipping things from the books, adding things in, but then still giving them the stupid plans. I don't want to spoil too much. I've already spoiled a little bit. Go watch the show. But say you had an enemy, right? You had a version of kryptonite for them. It weakens them, and you can then take them out. Why would you not use that on the most powerful version of them that there ever lived? It's like you're going up against freaking Goku, and you decide, let's use the weakening potion on Krillin. Be for real. Bro has died more times than anyone in the show for real. And that's even Yamcha don't go out as sad as him sometimes. Yamcha had that one time, but he decided to go home, get back in the car, let them drive off of Ice Cube. I feel like in this situation, it's just stupid. The plans they continue to make are foolish and foolhardy, and then the power scaling comes back in. Space Racer. A gun that can shoot through any and everything. And he only fired at the most strong Viltrumite one time by accident. Now I understand it goes on forever and it can destroy anything. He has to be careful. He might be hitting these other planets. But if you really thought about how large the vast expanse of space was, and the fact that it seems like you don't even care that much for real anyway, it's just this guy is a universal threat. You have to take risks in order to take him out. I don't know why everyone is acting as if they could have joined together and beat him when he's literally this powerful and you knew that. You knew you had something that could weaken him, that could damage him, but you don't use either one of those against him. And there's so many moments where I'm just like, why would you act in this way? It's as if they got no training. I thought Mark took time to train and become smarter. When he's fighting certain people, it's like, where is your combat training? And that's what I'm saying. I hate to bring up power scaling, but it matters when you have these characters going against each other, almost dying, and then you have to sit there and be sad about it for some reason when he did something stupid. I'm sorry. Oliver, go home. We don't need you. And it's just like, how many times are we going to have these stupid things happen for us to straighten up and get right? I just don't understand it. I get he's a kid, but that's why you are a parent. Send him at home. It's just very foolish. And those moments detract from an otherwise amazing show for me. I think if they spent more time with the animation, stop getting these big A-list celebrity actors, and just get voice actors who do it exceptionally well, and get a bigger animation team, that would improve. And I also feel like if they paid closer attention to detail with how powerful they're saying their characters are, there will be less moments where I'm like, well, if you ask maybe 2 or 3 questions, this whole rationale falls apart. With that being said, I still do thoroughly enjoy the show, and I will be looking forward to more seasons. It's just interesting to see a fandom be so above criticism in this way. Like, you can't say anything bad, or they'll immediately attack you. Oh, well, what do you want? Better animation? I thought this was an animated cartoon. I'm sorry. You can love something and criticize it all the same, and that's the case I have here. But I'm just here for the camera score, and for this season, I give it an 8 to 9 out of 10 still. Like I said, a lot of criticisms that kind of pick at what makes it still a great show, but I think there are some things they can tighten up. Some things are shown to happen and some things happen off screen, and I'm like, but you put in this big filler episode as if you didn't have time. If you have the time, what is this episode for? It's just so many confusing decisions going on in the background, and some writing choices that I still feel like take away the stakes for this. You let me know if you like this a lot more than I did, and if my criticisms are stupid. If they are, whatever, bro, if you say so. But I sincerely doubt I'm wrong once again. And I'll see you guys next week at 5 p.m.